And we're live! Woo!
My name is Gloria Tom.
I'm Zach Storms.
Welcome to the Top 5 finale night for Summit 8 in Manitoba. Give it up!
We have been meeting as a community for 236 weeks across the prairies. Startup TNT. TNT stands for Thursday Night Tradition. We get together on nights like this every single Thursday to have fun, make friends, and build companies.
Yeah, we do. And speaking of making friends, who is here joining us for a Startup TNT event for the very first time? Can I see a show of hands?
First timers. Oh! Some high-profile first-timers.
I know who else should have.
Natalie from Prairie's Can.
There we go. And shouldn't your hand be up for the
I'm
first?
a first-timer for a finale.
Indeed.
My first finale.
Absolutely. All right.
So
let's
get started, Gloria.
Absolutely. So if I can grab everyone's attention for just a minute for this next part as we go into our land acknowledgement. So Startup TNT, along with our other partners, share a love of telling stories. And telling stories is an integral part of what we do together in the community. Even though we are not all physically in the same venue at this moment, we still connect through the one land that we all share from wherever you are joining us tonight. Tonight, we honor those elders whose stories this land carries, and we acknowledge that this land is the traditional territory of the people of Treaties 1 through 11 and those beyond from anywhere in Canada that you may be joining us tonight. We acknowledge that this land was a traditional meeting grounds for the Treaty 1 territory, a gathering place and a traveling route to the Anishinaabe, Cree, Ojibwe, Dakota, and Dene peoples, and on the national homeland of the Red River Métis. We acknowledge all the many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit who have walked on this land before us. We aim to create a safe space for all Indigenous communities at Startup TNT. Tonight, we honor their mission to gather the community and share stories. We recognize that this land has been here before us and will remain after we are gone. The land embraces the spirits of lives that lived on it and shares the narratives of those who have walked on it before us. And with that, we're going to go into the rest of our evening here. And Zach, I'm going to let you take this next part. Take us from late 2019 when happy hour started all the way to now. Share some of these metrics with us that we're so proud of.
Well, listen, the very first happy hour happened on a special day for me. It was my 35th birthday. And we started this TNT concept to just bring people together, united under a common vision, and look at the impact we've had in almost 4 years now. 1,500 individual checks. This is the power of community coming together. 1,500 individual checks into 84 startups from over 300 investors. We're going to add a lot more companies to the board tonight. And one thing I love to bring attention to is this is the depth and breadth of your Prairie startup community. You've got all types of companies represented on here, from IT to hard tech to clean tech to medical devices and life sciences companies.
And let's bring that down into a local perspective. So this slide is one that is really personal to me. It's one I'm very proud of, that I've been so lucky to have been a part of helping build this. So in a year and a half, we have had 51 TNT angels invest into Manitoba startups. After tonight, it will be more than $500,000 raised for those Manitoba startups. 4 companies funded now, but for sure 5 by the end of tonight. And let me say this, if you keep this pace as a community, next year at this time, these numbers could double, and what a cool story that would be.
Ooh, let's hear it for our investors investing all their money into our companies here in Manitoba. You know, and we take this concept of community and friendship very seriously. In fact, we measure our relationships with all of our partners in friendship. API on the board there, they're a best friend forever. We actually run an entire summit with them focused on life sciences companies. Any life sciences entrepreneurs in the house, stay tuned on our website. Our next life sciences summit application is going live in December. CBRE is one of the largest real estate brokerage firms around the world, and you may think that you don't need a real estate broker as an entrepreneur and a startup, but guess what? They just helped some of our companies in Edmonton find some great real estate. MNP, I believe, was founded right here in Winnipeg. They're probably the most entrepreneurial accounting firm that you have in Canada. Love partnering with them. You know, and both CBRE and MNP, a bunch of those professionals actually invest with us as investors in our process. We bank with RBCX. They love entrepreneurs. They love helping startups. And BDC is one of the best sources for both non-dilutive and venture capital in Canada. In fact, we have a very special announcement.
We do.
Just went live. There is a new fund from BDC called the Thrive Lab. It's a $100 million fund specifically for women entrepreneurs that are addressing UN sustainability challenges. And we are a co-investment partner with BDC Thrive Lab, which means we can nominate any eligible companies to go into due diligence with BDC Thrive Lab and co-invest with us in any deals in our portfolio. One of only 35 across Canada. It's a pretty big accomplishment for us. We're very excited about it. Thank you, BDC. We're really excited about this partnership.
All right, so I want to give a special shout out tonight to Andrew Cadell from Infinity Shred, who traveled all of this way to be with us in person, and we are really, really pleased to have you. So big hand for Andrew. Thank you for coming all this way.
Here
Really
he is,
appreciate
right in front.
it.
Andrew Cadell, ladies and gentlemen.
And then beyond that, I'd like to make another special announcement. Matt Wilkinson, where are you in the room? If you can put up yet, there you are in the back. So just one of the coolest things that can happen. I would like to welcome the Asper School of Business Entrepreneurship team in the house tonight. So Nicole, Tamara, Rochelle, are you here?
There they are.
There they are in the back. Okay, so the big news is that this year Team Asper has incorporated Startup TNT events into their curriculum to help them compete against 12 of Western Canada's top university at JDC West in January for the title of School of the Year 2024. We wish you all the best, and we can't wait to see you at more events.
We're going to keep going. Why invest in startups, Gloria? Tell us your philosophy.
Absolutely. So this is a fun one. Why do we do this? Why is this important to us? So we know, and you probably know, because if you've spent any time around us, that we're incredibly passionate about raising early stage capital for startups in the prairies. And that is a difficult thing to do. It's difficult everywhere. It's the hardest job any founder will ever have. But in Manitoba, it can be uniquely challenging. And so, you know, Startup TNT is very proud to be a part of creating churn. And these entrepreneurs, we depend on them to create jobs in our community. And there's a lot of economic ROI on this, but they need more than money. Any thoughts on that?
Listen, I think being an entrepreneur is one of the most important jobs in our community, and we as a society really depend on people to bring new technologies out of their garages, out of their university research ecosystems, into society, impacting all of us. And I really don't know a better way to spend your time than helping these really exciting, passionate, intelligent people. So I'm excited to spend the entire evening with all of you here tonight doing just that.
That's what we're going to do. So we get asked every single time by folks who are interested in our investment process, how does it work? So pretty simple. At the start of every single summit that we do, we're looking for 20 to 30 investors to come around the table. Each one of those pre-commits an amount of $5,000 into a syndicated pot of funds. Investors get together and they gather and, you know, on the Make Friends theme, perform due diligence on 20 companies in 8 weeks. That is no small feat, by the way. And we're here for one reason tonight, right? And that is to hear the winner of Summit 8 in Manitoba, and that's going to be announced live in not too long from now.
100%. One of my most exciting parts. So let's get through the agenda. It's actually quite simple. Pitches, deliberation, investment announcement, and then we stick around and party all night long. Or until 10 p.m., whichever comes.
Or until Jason says. Absolutely.
Okay, listen, I'm really excited to let you guys know this is now the largest finale we've ever had. There have actually been 930 tickets sold. This is one of 4 events happening across the prairies. It's a pretty spectacular feat. There's going to be 20 pitches across all the events, 5 here tonight. And there is a special thing that we like to do at Startup TNT, which is we have this small way that you can be a hero by buying your friend a drink at Startup TNT. I actually met my co-founder, Tim Lin. He was one of the very first people to do this at the time, back in 2019. And so if you would like to donate to the bar tab for the after party, you can send a very simple e-transfer to cheers@startuptnt.com. In fact, has anyone donated yet?
I heard a rumor we've had
Andrew
at least 4
Trudell,
donations.
Our new sponsor, has donated. Richard Tuck, our finance lead, has donated. I plan to donate myself.
And don't forget the 2 anonymous donations we got earlier today.
And we
So
got
we're
2
off to a
anonymous
good
donations.
start.
All right, let's keep this going. We're almost at the pitches. What's the rest of the agenda look like?
All right, so everybody, if you've ever worked in sales, what does everyone say? Always be selling. We have a thing at TNT where it's ABP, always be pitching. So tonight we're going to hear from our top 5. They will be pitching the stories of their companies to you. They have 4 minutes to pitch. Founders, this 4-minute mark is important. We absolutely do not want to have to interrupt you if we don't have to. So if you all of a sudden see me behind the camera waving my hand, that's an indicator you've gone over your 4-minute mark. You want to leave time for your Q&A from your investors, that full 2 minutes at the end. What can the folks here do tonight?
Well, you need to give everyone a huge round of applause when they're up here. It takes a lot of guts to get up on this stage, and it's being broadcast to the world. Who's pitching tonight?
All right, so big welcome and round of applause for CogNet, FeedFlo, FleetOperate, GlitchSecure, TetraGen Robotics. Give it up.
Let's hear it for them. Let's hear it for them.
We're incredibly proud of the work that they've done. You can't imagine the undertaking that 8 weeks of due diligence is on a company in that amount of time, and it's intense. So we're going to be seeing ag tech, we're going to be seeing med tech, and it's going to be a good night.
Yeah, and so if you want to get really involved, there's a second QR code where you can actually scan this and you can give feedback to the presenters. Maybe you have a referral for them. Maybe you know someone that could help them out. Maybe you have a customer for them or a partnership for them. Maybe you just want to join the team. Maybe you just got some feedback on the pitch itself. How can you help these companies? Don't forget, money is but one of many things entrepreneurs need to be successful, and we're here as a community giving them as much as we can as possible.
All right, well, I think you've heard it from us, and now it's time to get this show on the road. It is my pleasure tonight to introduce our first co-host of the evening, Natalie LaRue, Director General of Prairies Can. If you could make your way on up here, and Liz Marr, our investor on deck for Q&A. Natalie, why don't you share a little bit what's going on at Prairies Can these days?
All right, thanks everyone. This is a really interesting follow-up. I'm government. Government, is super exciting. We do really great stuff, but we really do. So Prairies Can, if you don't know, is WD 2.0. If you don't know who WD is, we're a regional development agency, and we invest in companies. There's a few companies in this room that we've invested in, and we're part of this continuum. We're non-dilutive, as Zach had mentioned, and so it's really important to us to see jobs and growth in the economy here, because that's what keeps Manitoba growing. So what do we do? We're investing, we're advocating, we're always in Ottawa's ear. We're telling them how great Manitoba is. We're telling them about Manitoba's advantage. We've got a green advantage. We tell them all the time. And companies like this today are the reason that we do what we do. We get really excited. I was talking to Tetra Tech, and they're talking to our group. FeedFlo is a client of ours. We're very happy to be out in the community. So with that, it is my great honor to introduce Dr. Calvin Howard. Calvin's going to introduce CogNet as our first company here with his pitch.
Okay, wonderful. I'm Calvin Howard. I'm a physician, a neurology resident here at the University of Manitoba, and currently I'm a postdoctoral fellow down at Harvard Medical School doing computational neuroscience. I'm the founder of CogNet, and we are all about AI-powered dementia testing for anyone, anywhere. Now, why? Well, there are 35 million potential cases of dementia every single year in North America alone. That means there are 35 million people who need to be tested every year. That's just not feasible, and realistically what that's translated to is an average 3-year diagnostic delay. Beyond that, 50% of patients die without ever even receiving a diagnosis. In the day and age of actual dementia treatments, this is not acceptable. So to address this, we've developed an AI-powered dementia test, which just simply allows patients to get doctor-quality testing wherever they are, and it gives doctors subspecialist level results easy, without them doing a thing. So, to prove to myself that this thing actually works, I went into one of the local hospitals, recruited about 50 patients, and ran a clinical trial. Turns out, this thing smokes current state-of-the-art, outperforms everything in the literature. better than that, we find the neurologists actually love it. This is filling a gap that they always knew was there, but didn't actually have the time to fill themselves. Beyond that, patients were banging on their neurologist doors. People who I'd never spoken to were going in saying, hey, what's this dementia test? Who's doing it? How do I take it? Clearly, there's a bit of a grassroots communication going on within these patient populations, which is really exciting for us. So, in order to actually make this happen, we're going to do two different things here. So first, we're going to make this directly available to patients. So patients can get access to a $20 annual screening test. If they get a positive test, they can go on for a $50 formal diagnostic examination. If they get a positive hit there, they go to see their doctor. If they get a negative on either of those, they go back in for annual testing because you can still convert to dementia every single year. Now, since doctors like this so much, we've created a second stream for them where we'll just test their patients for them, no sweat off their back, and we'll just take a cut of the revenue. So, what we're aiming to accomplish is $8 million in annual recurring revenue by year 5, achieving about 0.5% of the Canadian B2C market and about 3% of the Canadian B2Doctor market. Now, when we expand into the States, this 10x's. So, we've raised about $360,000, or sorry, we've raised about $140,000. We're aiming to raise another $360,000 for a total of $500,000. We've been nominated by Harvard Medical School to receive an $800,000 grant for invention specifically for this. The iron is hot, it's time to strike, and we'd like you to step on the gas with us. So, thank you very much for your time and for your attention. And of course, thank you to the team. I really could not have done it without them.
That was great, super start to the evening. Fascinating, but tell us a little bit about how what you're doing could fit in with some big pharmaceutical companies and some big clinical trials that are going on with the dementia world.
Yeah, so one of the big potential revenue sources and actually exits is a kind of big pharma or clinical trials play. We've actually received a lot of interest. So there are large companies that are rolling out the new Alzheimer's treatment, kind of the best thing that's ever really happened for Alzheimer's. And in order to know that those patients are responding, they need regular tests, but they just can't test everybody at the frequency they need to. So they're looking for people who are able to do automated testing remotely at regular intervals and screen patients to enroll. Now, for every patient we diagnose for them, this nets them $2,000 every single month. So they are really quite interested. We've had interest from Eisai, which is like a multi-billion-dollar company running the current lecanemab trial. We've got interest from Perceive AI, which is a company that's very interested in pairing up with them and kind of managing the clinical trial for them. We've just gotten off or just had a meeting 2 days ago with another clinical trial company that's helping orchestrate these. So it's seeming very positive, and we're seeing a lot of interest from that sector.
Fantastic. It sounds like you've got a lot of things going. So good luck with everything. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, off to a great start, and our next co-host to introduce our second company is Andrew Kudell from Infinity Shred. Andrew, sponsor, bar tab donator, what else do you have up your sleeve?
Yeah, thanks, Zach. Well, first of all, thank you for the warm welcome. I am a Riders fan, so I know, I'm sorry. And I gotta say, I'm jealous of the Bombers. Grey Cup is like the biggest thing in my father-in-law's house, so I'm jealous of you guys, but happy to be here in Manitoba.
Well, tell us a little bit about what Infinity Shred does.
Sure, so we are a scientific research and experimental development consulting firm. So we help startups in the prairies recoup expenditures for their new platform development, the research they're doing, and everything that they're doing to make Canadian tech even more competitive. So we help them get money back.
Do you know roughly how many TNT companies from Saskatchewan work with Infinity Shred right now? Rough estimates.
All of the winners, all of the summit winners, except
all
for one.
The winners.
Except for one.
Okay.
Yeah,
New predictor if you're going to win at Startup TNT. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Who's speaking next?
Yeah. Happy to introduce the next company. And we are founder first, so please give them your attention here. And hear what they have to say and support them as much as you can. So I'd like to bring up to the stage Jade from GlitchSecure.
Let's hear it for her.
Hello again. Is this thing on? There we go. How's everyone doing tonight? Awesome. I'm excited to talk to you about my company, GlitchSecure, real-time continuous security testing and the security market. There we go. So, cybersecurity is obviously a huge problem. A recent report showed 85% of organizations suffered some sort of cyber attack last year. Last year alone, there were 25,000 new vulnerabilities reported, and on average, it's taking companies 52 days to get those vulnerabilities fixed. With this in mind, every time you add a new vendor, that adds risk. Every time they're shipping new code, that adds to new attack surface. Compliance and regulation is becoming a huge pusher for cybersecurity, frameworks like SOC 2 and insurance. And there's a reason why, right? Breaches on average, the Canadian government actually published a report this year, the average data breach is costing about $6.3 million. So how can companies protect themselves, right? Such a huge problem. Well, right now there's the market out there. There's cybersecurity consultancies, massive market, $24 million market. There's the crowdsourced market, fair bit smaller, but they exist. And then there's vulnerability scanners, 3.5. We're trying to come in for all three of those. There's some problems with that market and with the solutions on the market right now. Annual penetration testing with those consultancies is just not enough, right? You do a test once a year, it leaves you unprotected the other 11 months of the year. Those vulnerability scanners I talked about at the end there, they're really complex. They require teams to manage, and a lot of companies just don't have the expertise on hand. And even once they find vulnerabilities, it's really difficult to actually know how to fix them and ensure they're fixed. So companies really need hackers on their side, right? My background is as a hacker, right? So I'm a world-class offensive security expert. I don't mean to put myself up too much, but I've helped protect some really, really impressive companies. I've hacked hundreds and hundreds of companies, I've protected millions of customer records, but I can't really do it alone, right? I've been building up a team. Last time when I was here, I was a solo founder. Over the last month and a half, I've been working, bringing on a new co-founder, former TinySeed founder, background in B2B SaaS sales, and he's actually previously built a go-to-market for $1 million SaaS company. I've also been building a team of hackers and talented builders to help build out this vision. And what we're building is a continuous security testing platform. This platform helps companies both find and remediate those vulnerabilities. Our platform does three things really, really well. It automates security testing and reporting, reduces false positives, and makes remediation easy. We're focused on helping SaaS and software companies secure their software and APIs. We're doing that by essentially putting the tools and techniques of a hacker on the development teams of those companies. How do we compare, right? I talked about those consultancies earlier, the crowdsourced market, vulnerability scanners. Frankly, we're faster. Our testing is continuous. It's all year round, something not many are doing. The results are instant, and we're trying to keep that price point low. There's some enterprise features we need to build out to be more competitive, but take it from our customers, they frickin' love us. They say they really have our backs, and the tooling is better than anything we've actually used before. Already raised funding, so we raised funding back in January of 2023 this year. 160,000 used it to build out an MVP and some of the infrastructure, get those first customers. As you saw last month, we already have traction, but we've grown since then. Added $51,000 in ARR since last month, since I was here, and we're gonna keep growing. Right now, we're trying to raise 500,000 US on a safe. We're closing that pretty soon. Already have some interest from existing investors, other investors. We're gonna use that for product growth, really build out those enterprise features, build out that repeatable sales pipeline, and really hone in our marketing. I'll leave you with this. Hackers don't stop testing, neither should you.
All right, let's hear it for Jade. Great presentation, Jade. And here to ask questions is our finance lead, Richard Tuck. Welcome.
But I'm not just a finance lead, I'm also an investor.
Oh, yeah, he is.
All right, Jade. Great presentation. You just mentioned that you, in the last month, have grown $50,000 ARR. That's amazing. Tell us about your clients. I mean, we have some people here from Bulk Commerce. also potential investors. And you know, like, how many clients is that? You know, like, what's the average spend per client?
Yeah, so right now we've mostly been focused on mid-market B2B SaaS companies. Right now our ACV is about 20K, but as we're targeting those bigger enterprise customers like Bold Commerce, we're looking at low six-figure deals for that, and talking to them and seeing what they're spending. That's pretty common.
Amazing. The other thing, you know, doing due diligence, you mentioned it a little bit, but I'd love to get a little bit more insight on the fact that you were kind of pitching as a solo founder, and a month later, now you have a co-founder, and tell us about that journey.
Yeah, so Aaron's actually somebody I've known for the last year. Again, fellow Tiny Seed founder. He has been instrumental in this company from day one, helping me with sales, helping me with marketing. We used to have calls every single week. And when he left his current startup, it sort of just made sense to bring him on board, right? He was already familiar with the company, already has this background, and as a technical founder who's done so well in sales, I'm excited to see what he can do having full reign.
Amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're clipping right along here at a good pace. That's fantastic. I would like to bring forward Melissa DeRota from MIA to introduce our next company, and it's a surprise who asks the questions next. Come on up, Melissa.
Thank you, Gloria. Hi, everyone. Is anyone wearing more pink than me right now? Come on, where's my applause? Thank you. I'm with the Manitoba Environmental Industries Association. We hold the Sector Council portfolio for natural resources, energy, environment, and clean technology. I just wanted to give a shout out. Next week, we have our largest environmental clean tech conference on the prairies. Tickets are almost sold out, 600 in attendance. The first 4 to approach me or send me an email will get 50% off tickets. We only have a few tickets left. Hope to see you there. And so today I am introducing, I have a write-up, Matt from TetraGen Robotics. They bring robotic automation to small and medium-sized manufacturers with high mixed operations. Where is Matt? Welcome, Matt. There you are.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hi, everyone. My name is Matt Koshtarigi. I'm co-founder and CEO of TetraGen Robotics. And we help manufacturing companies automate their highly variable manufacturing processes. And we do that by leveraging our machine vision and AI software. The manufacturing industry is still relying heavily on skilled workers for manual tasks, especially for things like welding, sanding, cutting, polishing, and these sort of tasks that require a lot of experience. But the challenge is that as the previous generation is retiring and leaving the workforce, the new generation is not really interested in filling these manual jobs. And as a result, most companies are facing severe labor shortages, and this problem is getting worse and worse every year. In fact, last year, over 80% of all manufacturers in the US and Canada reported severe labor shortages. So naturally, all companies are looking into adopting robotic automation. The challenge is that really robots are designed for highly repetitive tasks, generally in mass production lines, in things that you see in very, very big companies, where each robot is really repeating the same exact operation or task over and over. But the challenge is that most companies, they don't have mass production lines. They actually have what we call high-mix, highly variable manufacturing operations. That means that they produce a wide variety of parts, and those parts are subject to a lot of variations because of manufacturing inconsistencies, manufacturing errors, and so on. And this is even worse in smaller and medium-sized businesses where they don't really have any repeatable fixtures to keep everything fully repeatable. So for these companies currently to adopt robotic automation, they currently have to spend a significant amount of time programming robots for each individual part. And then they have to do a lot of manual touch-ups of that robot program to just make it work for each individual part. And that really makes it impractical for many companies to adopt robotic automation. So that's where we come in. We provide a software solution that gives the robots the ability to see and automatically adapt to variations in parts and processes. So the way our solution works is that we integrate off-the-shelf 3D cameras into robot cells. We gather the raw data from the camera. Then we use our own 3D vision and AI software combined with our manufacturing insight to detect parts, detect part variations, and then we use detect part features, and then we use that information to automatically guide the robot to perform the desired task with minimal programming by that end user. So we offer this solution under we call robot as a service model, which means that the customer can lease the full solution for an annual fee. We launched about a year ago. Over the past 12 months, we have generated about $200,000 in total revenue. We have several paid pilot projects that will hopefully lead to major sales. We just partnered up with one of the largest heavy vehicle manufacturing companies in North America, a company that you see their products all in every city in North America. And the goal is to deploy one of our solutions there, and then if things are successful, hopefully they will adopt it in all of their facilities. And we just yesterday submitted a multi-million-dollar funding application in support of this project. We are a highly technical team with extensive operational experience. I previously founded and led one of Canada's top research labs in intelligent manufacturing. Our unique advantage is that we come from a manufacturing background, so we know the problem very well and we know the solution very well. Okay, and we are raising $500,000, so we'll be happy to answer your questions.
All right, thanks, Matt. Listen, we'll just do one question. Let's hear it for Matt. Let's hear it for Matt. Let's do one question. There's a lot of different types of manufacturing out there.
Right.
Where are you going to start? What are you focusing on as your first customer?
Yeah, so of course, manufacturing is a very broad area and focus is important. So at the beginning, we are targeting the fiberglass manufacturing industry, which is really used a lot in heavy vehicle manufacturing, like buses and RVs and trucks and agricultural equipment. And the reason is that heavy vehicle manufacturing, Manitoba is one of the largest heavy vehicle manufacturing centers in North America, so that gives us access to a lot of customers, and then after that, eventually we'll hopefully go into new applications like welding and sanding and so on.
Okay, thanks so much, Matt. I think we're out of time. Let's hear it for Matt one last time.
Thank you very much.
Okay, and our next co-host here to present the fourth company is none other than the founder of this great space that we're in right now, Jason Abbott from Launch. Welcome, Jason.
Thanks, Zach. Great to see so many familiar faces in the audience again. And for those who haven't been here before, I welcome you to Launch. We are a network of entrepreneurs, of enterprise organizations, of well over 400 members from all different walks of life. So I welcome you here. I'm a big supporter of what's going on here tonight, startup founder myself. And I'll highlight that we also offer a workplace startup scholarship. And you can go wrong with that. 3 months of workplace on Launch. And it's my pleasure to announce one of our most recent recipients, which is Gojo. Gojo, where are you? Gojo is here from Morigato. He's our most recent workplace scholarship winner. So with that, we need a really big round of applause for this next presenter. He's gonna rock the stage. This is the home of so many big trucking companies. Like, this is perfect. So Yash, come on up from FleetOperate.
Welcome, Yash.
Thank you. So as Jason mentioned, trucking is the backbone of North America. But one of the big problems with trucking is it is dominated by small, medium trucking companies, and it is very hard for them to manage their family, their finances, and their life. Why? Because trucking is very demanding. As you see, as the winter starts, every single thing that we eat comes from south of the border, most of the things, or at least 90% of the things. And all of them come through a truck. And it is very hard to manage. It is very difficult on the road. So what they face is resource constraints. They cannot scale their business. They cannot build their business because they need to take care of a lot of things. So safety and compliance always comes at last because that's not what is paying them. But unfortunately, that causes higher insurance payments, and they cannot scale, they cannot build their company, and they make less money. So what we are building at FleetOperate is a platform that helps small, medium trucking companies to build and grow their business. So how we do it? We addressed it from the ground up. So we have built our own trucking company. So we started a trucking company, so we know how to run a trucking company. So we built a software platform to run a trucking company. Then we onboarded other trucking companies so that we can help them. So our platform helps them to get insurance. That's the first step. The second, it helps them to run their business by making money, by optimized dispatch. The third is it helps to manage all of their business transactions using our platform. So when they're on the road, they don't have to worry about their business. They can just focus on the job that is on their hand. So our digital platform, it really brings small, medium trucking companies, levels up the field, so that they can work with large shippers and provide services. So that means more money to their pocket. So we have built the platform, and so far it has been very successful, I would say, because we have onboarded 260 plus trucking companies, more than 2,500 drivers. And I'm very happy to see this is outdated slide now in terms of revenue, because we just hit 100,000 monthly revenue. And we also obtained insurance from two large insurance carriers in Canada, so that we can provide insurance to our trucking companies. These are our major milestones, but also you might ask, okay, how we can scale, why it is so complicated, why there are so many things. Because trucking is very regulated industry and it is very complicated. You need all the things. That is one of the reasons why small, medium trucking companies are not very successful, why it is still 90% dominated by small, medium trucking companies. The entry barrier is low, but it takes a lot of work to succeed and build a large company. So our business model, we go in the reverse order. Like trucking companies and small business owners, small owner operators, come to us because we manage their safety and compliance. So that's why they come to us. They stick with us because we provide them the insurance. We make money, start making money, more money, when they make money. That is the commission basis on dispatched loads. And we make on an average 2,400 per driver. In the last month, we have made 2,500 per driver. So far we have, this year we have 400,000 total revenue. And we were doing 35K per month up until last month. This is one thing I would like to highlight. This is all our US competition. There are 4 companies in the US that are kind of our competition, 2 in the trucking space and 2 in the insurance space. But how are we different? We are in Manitoba, we are in Canada, so we are we bootstrapped to last 2 years, and we have built everything from ground up. And we have more drivers than them, we have more tractions than them, and our product is built. The insurance companies that operate here, who are backing up, are also operating in the US, so we can already scale in the US once we are ready. So this is a huge market. This is $850 billion market, and it's huge opportunity. And we have been doing this for trucking for last 10 years. So thank you.
So thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
that pitch. Really appreciate that. Well
you very
done. My question for you tonight is, you've really experienced some growth lately.
Yes.
As you go forward, is there anything that sort of is a concern for you? Is there anything that keeps you up at night as you look forward to building your company out even further?
Right now, because since we are growing very rapidly, we need to catch up with our operational staff and some process and procedures around that. That means we need to hire more to support the trucking. So that's one thing. And the second, like most of our drivers are in the US, so they are struggling to save money with their fuel. So we are adding a Visa card, MasterCard, so that they can save money on that. So those are the 2 things that we are working on right now.
Thank you very much, Yash.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, there is only one final pitch left, but before we get to that pitch, I would like to give a generous shout out to Katrina Hall from BDC, who just donated to the bar tab. Let's hear it for her. Thank you, Katrina. We also got 2 anonymous donations, so let's hear it for the 2 anonymous donors. And here is our final co-host, is Lasha Glenny, here to introduce the final company from Mia. Welcome, Lasha.
Emily.
I'm sorry, from Emily, excuse me.
Zach, you'll learn it. You'll learn it. I'll keep at you.
So
with
many
it.
acronyms for me to learn.
We're not actually an acronym anymore, but I will go into explaining what we do. So thank you very much. Very excited to be here. Emily is pleased to be able to sponsor this event yet again this year. For all of you that don't know what Emily is, we're an industry-led nonprofit that is basically looking to accelerate digital adoption in the agriculture space. That's why I'm very excited that one of the ag tech companies had made the top 5, and they are great friends to Emily as well. So please join with me in welcoming Casey and Ethan from FeedFlo. They're going to show how their technology is going to increase productivity, sustainability, and profitability in the future.
Thank you for that warm welcome. I'm Casey Forsyth. I'm the CEO of FeedFlo, and this is my COO, Ethan Trochanov. For those of you who don't already know the two of us as those pig guys, buckle up, because this is going to be wild. Now, I don't expect that the crowd here knows a ton about the livestock industry, but you don't need to be an expert to understand the industry's biggest problems.
So, simply put, in 2023, it's become more expensive to raise a pig than it is to sell it. And the bulk of those costs are in the feed that these pigs are consuming. So you'd think that in an industry where over 1 billion pigs are raised per year, that the industry leaders would be hyper fixated on optimizing their most important input costs. But in reality, it's quite different from this. So nearly no pig producer monitors their feed whatsoever on a barn level, which is causing, in general, a lower standard of care for animals across the board. Essentially, if you manage your pigs worse, they grow less efficiently and end up costing you over $20 more per animal.
So that's why we invented FeedFlo. FeedFlo sits on top of the pipe and measures how much feed is traveling underneath. Now, that might sound simple, but this little box is packed with innovations, and it's monitoring 100 times per second, so we don't miss a single kernel of corn. Now, the data from FeedFlo is sent over to our web app and to our mobile app, and what we do with that is we tell the right people at the right time to fix problems, which is the key to well-fed, happier, and healthier, and more profitable pigs.
To better understand our value, it's important to also understand our competition. So here we are at the startup TNT pig barn. You see a couple feed bins outdoors and a couple pigs inside that are fed through a system of pipes. So our competitors get their feed data by looking at the bins and either weighing them from the bottom up using load cells, or by looking from top down using sensors. Now, these systems can be extremely expensive, but the bigger issue here is that what happens inside of the bin doesn't always match what's happening inside of the barn. So, for example, your bins might be 100% full, which would be great, but there could be a clog at the bottom of them, which is stopping any feed from getting to the animals inside of the barn. Sometimes the feeding system motors break down and need to be serviced right away. Sometimes animals just don't eat because they're sick. Now, from the perspective of the bin, this all looks the exact same, right? You see a full bin. FeedFlo, by being situated on the pipe, is able to differentiate all these different issues and more from one another and alert the right people immediately on where to go to solve these issues so that they can solve them quickly and efficiently.
Right, so the industry has understood for a long time that if they could accurately measure feed at scale, it would unlock these huge improvements in animal management. And that's why we have such a strong early pipeline. All of these customers are currently using FeedFlo in paid trials. Now, these are some of the biggest names in agriculture from Manitoba to Australia, and each one of them represents a huge opportunity for FeedFlo. Now, I'd love to spend more time talking about our amazing team, but I just don't have the time. So there's one thing I want to tell you, which is that there is not a more talented group of people who have dedicated themselves to monitoring pig feed. Now, we're going to be growing out our business, and in that growth phase, we've really put the technical work behind us. We still need to do a lot of support and development, but really the new roles at FeedFlo are going to be in marketing, sales, and customer service.
So our hardware and software as a service business model allows us to provide customers significant ROI of up to 7x without breaking the bank up front. So we charge a modest $200 per sensor up front to help us manage our cash flow, as well as a monthly subscription fee of $20 per sensor for access to our data platform. We think there's plenty of opportunity for expansion in price and revenue as our feature set matures and expands. The market, as is the case with many different ag verticals, is huge. Our plan at the moment is to capture 10% of the North American hog market share before expanding globally, as well as into poultry.
So that brings us to why we're all here. We're raising $1 million that's focused on accelerating our growth and capturing this huge opportunity we've created. Now, we've put aside half this round for Manitoba's angel investors because we believe in the power of local innovation and local collaboration. I would like to say that I'm incredibly proud to be part of this community, and I thank all of you for your support.
Great job, guys. Who knew feeding pigs could be so interesting? My question for you is, to be an entrepreneur takes a lot of perseverance. What would you say has been your main challenge to get to where you are so far, and how did you overcome it?
So I remember a particular time. It was last year. We just shipped our 4th generation prototype, and we shipped 60 of them. It was our largest order yet. And I was in the pig barn to discover that every single one in that barn had broken, and it was going to be the same across all of those barns. And what it really took was reflecting on what had gone wrong and persevering through it. I realized that, after being frustrated for a while, that it was actually my own fault. I had taken on too much responsibility in mechanical engineering, and I had to go and fix the business process that led us to this point. So I hired our first mechanical engineer, and a week later, we were back in the field, observing all of the failure, understanding what was going on. And really, it's those cycles of failure and innovation that has made us successful.
Great. Good advice for all of us. Thanks a lot, Casey.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ethan.
All right, and thank you, Trudy, for asking questions. Trudy has been investing with us since our very first summit here in Manitoba. All right, Gloria, what's happening next?
Okay, so I heard a little bit of applause for each of the top 5. Can we really give it one more big round of applause? It took them a heck of a lot to get up here and pitch to all of you, which is a room full, by the way. I want to give a shout out to Juno Food Labs. They are responsible for providing us both in the deliberation room with investors and here for all of you, fantastic plant-based food, incredibly tasty. I've tried it myself, so please enjoy it while we go into deliberation. We'll try to get this wrapped up in about 45 minutes or so, and investors, I'm now going to ask you to head way on down to the right, to the boardroom, and join us in there. And for everyone else, let's make some friends, shall we? Yeah, there we go. All right, thanks.
All right, see everyone soon. Are we ready to get this going, Winnipeg? 1 minute remaining, I think it's done. Oh, there we are. Are we live on screen?
There we go.
Are we back?
Can everybody hear us, by the way?
Okay, are we showing those outro slides?
We'll just give everyone a second.
We have a quick recap slide deck, right? Are we showing that?
Yes.
We're just doing it us. Otherwise, we'll just wing. Oh, here we go. Grab your seat. Live announcement.
All right, so before we announce our decision tonight.
Wait, no, okay, sorry, I was just confused. So we're not doing the outro slides.
Do you want to talk about the VC fund quickly?
Yeah, okay, I have 2 quick announcements. We don't need slides. Let's just go straight to camera on us. We don't need slides. It's okay, we're gonna do without slides. The slides aren't really that important because really all that matters is we come together like this every single Thursday and we do great deals together. And we're now launching a venture capital fund to invest alongside the angel investors in all of the winners from all of our regions. So the winner tonight also gets a check from our venture capital fund. They're investing all the winners across the prairies.
Yeah.
We're really excited about this. Our goal is to get more people investing in their local startup community like you are all doing right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So with that, I think we can probably do, does anyone want to do a drum roll?
Actually, I have to
Oh, there it
Wait,
comes.
Sorry.
What
Are you guys able to
forgetting?
bring us back to just the camera team, tech team? There we are. There we are. Tech team.
Oh, I missed something.
I have something special. I have to make a special announcement, Gloria. I know that you didn't want me to do this, but I have to do it. I know she didn't want me to. And I actually prepared a speech that I wrote.
Are you guys trying to make me cry?
That is the goal, in fact. That is the goal. All right. All right, listen, everybody. This is a very special day for all of us at Startup TNT. Startup T at its core is a community of entrepreneurs, scientists, investors that all come together every single week to build relationships. And tonight, I would like to recognize one of our outstanding community members, Gloria Tom. Gloria has poured every ounce of her soul into this community for the past 18 months, and the results speak for themselves. Your weekly meetups dwarfs the meetup that we have in other regions. Your summits have raised over $500,000 for Manitoba startups. That's right. And the relationships are real. The last summit winner, Standard Carbon, met their CFO at their finale night. Things are happening right here at Startup TNT in Manitoba. And this is what community feels like, Gloria and everybody. Like we are just catching up with old friends over a drink. Like we're just having fun together. Or making new friends. But the secret is that we are, in fact, changing the world every relationship at a time. And so while you may be leaving us as our Manitoba lead, Gloria, know that you are a TNTer for life. And our community will continue to build on the foundation that you have set for us here. I would like to present this photo. Just so everybody knows, in here, there is a photograph from our last team retreat, and it was just a really special, happy moment. I think some described it as the harder I've laughed with colleagues than I've laughed in a really, really long time. So I hope this photo sits somewhere nice in your house and you can always remember the impact you have had with us and on your community. Thank you, Gloria.
And I'm going to add, as a testament to Gloria, Gloria definitely did not want this. She really, really wanted this to be about the winner. Really, really wanted this to be about the startups that we are investing in today, and not about her. But Zach and I said, fuck that.
Well, Richard said, fuck that. I said, maybe we should respect Gloria's wishes. I don't know. Okay, I think we're ready.
So now the drum roll.
I think we're ready.
Okay, here we go. This is going to be my favorite part. Without further ado, it gives me the greatest amount of pleasure possible to announce that the winner of Summit 8 in Winnipeg is Casey and Ethan from FeedFlo.
Congratulations! The Pig Masters. Welcome. Welcome. Welcome.
Big boys strike again. Let's go.
Thank you. Hold up the check, you guys. There we go.
Hold up the check. All right. I believe we have champagne to pour.
We do.
Would you guys like to say anything? What does this mean for you, Casey?
I think that this is a momentous moment for us. I'm just so thankful for everything that everyone put into this, from our team, our friends and loved ones, to TNT, especially Gloria and Richard. It's been an amazing journey these last few weeks. I'm amazed that I'm standing up here. This is just so fantastic. Thank you all so much.
Startup TNT!
Woo! Thank you so much. Absolutely.
See, these are the smiles that we live for right here. That grin.
All right, we'll do one final cheers here,
We will.
and then we'll wrap it up.
So without further ado, please raise your glasses and cheers to FeedFlo. Congratulations, guys.
Congratulations.
You worked so incredibly hard. We actually have another little gift for you. I'm just wondering where it has gotten
Yeah,
to.
okay, I think we have a gift for you guys, and I just want to make one other announcement, which is we have a long tradition here at Startup TNT. This is not supposed to be a winner-take-all prize competition. We want to be doing deals and great entrepreneurs, and we would like to announce that we want to do a deal with Jade at GlitchSecure. Jade!
Whoa, side deal,
We
Jade!
wanna do another
Side deal,
deal.
Jade!
Come on up here, Jade! Do we have a glass for Jade? Jade needs a glass. All right. All right, one final cheers, and then I think it's time to get the party started, Gloria.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, one final photo with everybody.
Get on in there.
I just want to say a big thank you to everybody. We have a great AV team. Gloria and Richard, a fantastic team. We got all these volunteers. We got Andrew on the events. Jason, it's so great to have us here again at your space. And thank you all for coming. I'll be sticking around for quite a while. Let's enjoy the party. Any final words, Gloria?
Yeah, I just want to say a huge thank you to our ops team back home for you in Edmonton. I also just want to say thank you to my wonderful friend Mandy in marketing. She's part of the reason why we have a record number in ticket sales at over 900. So thank you to them. To our photographer, Lavina Gerbrandt, please talk to her about your next corporate event. And to all of you who came out to support the entrepreneurs tonight, you're doing more with your presence here than you can know, which is why I'm going to miss this so much. And so with that, I want to say thank you for coming. It's been such a blast, and you've been such a blessing. Good night.
And stick around. Thanks, everybody.